Guys, what's up? It's Dark Mech here, and it is hot as a motherfucker in Australia right now. It is 34 fucking degrees today. Normally I'd be doing this with a light on. There is no chance of having a fucking light on today. So I've got that out of the way. Welcome back to another episode of Tank Legion. Today we are going right back to basics. I should have made this guide probably second or third episode in. The only reason I've even clued on to making it is because of a Reddit poster by the name of Metal Music Man, who posted a great post for beginner tanks talking about what is active mitigation. He also wrote an article for it, which is on Hyper Dragon, I think it's called, which is in the description below if you want to check it out. This is pretty much completely a summary of his article to put into my tank series because I thought it was really important. So 100% credit goes to him. There is no Warcraft Bible bullshit going on here. So when we talk about mitigation to a beginner tank, if we say the boss is going to use this special ability and you need to make sure you use mitigation to not get knocked back or to not get a debuff. Generally what's going to come from that is when someone thinks about mitigation, it's to reduce risk or to lessen the force or intensity of something. So they're going to think to anything in their toolkit, and I'll just take a warrior for example, like ignore pain, that reduces damage, it mitigates damage, and they're going to think, well, I can use that ability. Blizzard changed tanking in Legion to make tanking, I suppose, in boss encounters much more interactive in regards to having one specific active mitigation ability that would counter those boss specials. So, to go through all the tanks, Vengeance Demon Hunters, you're going to use Demon Spikes. That is your single active mitigation ability used for the purpose of countering boss specials. Guardian Druids are going to have Iron Fur. Brewmaster Monks are going to have Iron Skin Brew. Protection Paladins have Shield of the Righteous. Protection Warriors have Shield Block. And Blood Death Knights have their Death Strike or Marrow Rend. Now, Death Knights are a bit different. So, if you Death Strike, you get a Blood Shield and you get the recently used Death Strike buff, which will act as your active mitigation. Marrow Rend also gives you recently used Death Strike and can act in that fact. Bone Shield charges, however, will not act as active mitigation in countering a boss special. So, just keep that in mind. Now, I've spoken a lot through the guides that I've made about this is your main active mitigation ability and you want to use it, but again, the reason I thought for making this video was that I never actually sort of thought about what that meant from a beginner perspective. From my perspective, I'm like, it's your main active mitigation ability, use it, I've been playing the game for a long time, it should just make sense to you, whereas to a beginner, they may not understand that, and that's exactly why I wanted to make this video, to show that there is that one specific ability that you use for active mitigation, so when you hear it, you know exactly what to do. Now, download DBM, which I harp on in every one of these Tank Series videos, if you still haven't done it, because DBM is going to tell you when to use your active mitigation. I've just told you what that single button is, and that should take a hell of a lot of the stress out of tanking for you, knowing what button to push and having something else tell you when to push it. So I've included a few video examples, and again, I am just ripping them straight from Metal Music Man's article on Hyper Dragon there. They were videos that I already had, or footage I already had on my PC, so it was just easy to use. So the first one is the second boss in Blackrook Hold, and the ability Vengeful Shear. So Vengeful Shear, it'll pop up on DBM, it'll tell you when she's casting Vengeful Shear, and you want to use your active mitigation ability to avoid getting the stacking debuff that makes you take extra damage. The second example I've got is the last boss in Neltharian's Lair. He'll cast the Landslide, which there's really nothing you can do about to avoid that knockback. You can have your back into the bones, which will just punt you into the bones, going nowhere if you're hard up against them, or the wall. He'll then after that cast Molten Crash. Now Molten Crash, you need to use your active mitigation ability before the ability gets off, so your Shield Block, your Iron Skin Brew, your Demon Spikes, etc. And if you do that, you will remain in place. If you don't get an active mitigation ability up before Molten Crash goes off, you get punted backwards. So that's it, guys. Hopefully I've summed it up fairly short and succinctly. As I said, I did just think, I know it was in an article and I probably just, well, it's YouTube. We make videos. I can't just post a video of a fucking web link. So I really wanted to have it in this tank series. If you have any questions about this whatsoever, please do hit me up. But hopefully, again, for beginner tanks, you find this useful. So thank you very much for checking out the video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. See you guys.